Um, this is Jessica Urban Book Review channel. I'm coming to you again because I recorded the video the first time, but I tried to upload it. It didn't want to upload, so I'm coming to you one more time to upload this video because this video was requested by a Facebook friend of mine, and I'm doing a review on a book one of R. Kelly victims wrote. She didn't write her name on the book, so I can't really give you her name, but I would definitely give you a brief detail about the book and my review on the book. So here we go. The book is called A Pass You Can't Escape Section of Daddy Little Freak. This is the PDF form because it's not on Amazon. You would not be able to find it anywhere. I found this book on Facebook. This book was talked about and passed around a lot on Facebook. So I am doing a quick review on it because I just did a review on this book and I tried to upload the video and it would not upload. So it's my crazy phone acting crazy and I'm trying to get the review out because it was requested by me. Anything that's requested for me to review, I will review it and I will give you my word. So this is the first request I got and I'm finna give you my review on the book. Okay, where do I start? This book was very detailed. It was very raw. I call it raw because the sex scenes in this book is something that you see on Pornhub or some disgusting sex website. You know what I'm saying? The things that R. Kelly did to this girl, I wouldn't even wish on my worst enemy. Yes, a couple people I don't like, but I won't call you my enemy. I just don't fool with you. Anyway, okay, the book first starts off with the girl. I see. That's nothing. I'm not putting no rate on this review on this book because she did not give me her name. She didn't give her name in this book because she said to this day R. Kelly is still stalking her. He's watching her social media sites. He still had people follow her around. So I'm not gonna like how I do other books like rated like 5 stars or anything like that. I can't do it with this book. So I'm not gonna do this book. It was a good read. I learned a lot of things about R. Kelly that turned me completely off by him. Don't get me wrong, I love his music. I will listen to certain songs or whatever, but further as R. Kelly the person, no. Because I feel like she was telling the truth in this book because I was watching the video this morning of his ex-wife. She did a interview on the Brew television TV show about him, and the same things, similar, some of the things the girl wrote in this book, R. Kelly's wife said the same thing. Like for one, she said something about R. Kelly jumping on her and tying her up to the bed, hog tie her up to the bed. You know what I'm saying? And she said she's a dancer, so she got out this hog tie, but she had to lay there. She said she praised God and she just laid the God told her to lay there, and she ended up getting out the hog tie. The girl in the book said the same thing, that he hog tied her to the bed after he got to having sex with her, and he ended up falling asleep, and she just laid there. But this girl, she couldn't get out the hog tie, but R. Kelly's wife, she did. So some of the things R. Kelly's wife said on the View, this girl said some of the things too in this book. Anyways, she was young, she was naive. She said that she was very obsessed with R. Kelly. It's like she loved his dirty draws, you know what I'm saying? And she wanted to meet him. So her cousin ended up getting them tickets to R. Kelly concert. And she was front row. So she said she was whining, dancing, doing things to get his attention. And uh she couldn't get his attention, and you know what I'm saying, he was saying, he kept coming towards their way, singing towards them, you know what I'm saying, he was watching her, you know what I'm saying, while she would dance and stuff like that. And fast forward a little bit, they ended up leaving the concert and going to the club. So he sent his bodyguard Ray over there to get her so she come to the VIP section. But she told him nah, she playing hard to get, she was gonna wait, you know what I'm saying, make him come to her. So he did end up coming to her and told her, like, you know what I'm saying, I sent Ray over here to get you, you know what I'm saying, come to me in VIP. So basically like, no, you gonna come to me. You want me, you gonna come to me. So she like inside she was all jittery. You know how that's what it means. Anyway, she was all jittery. Thanks for watching her video. Anyway, she's all jittery and stuff, whatever. So she ended up giving him, they ended up changing numbers or whatever. So he told her to call him when they get ready to leave the club. So he basically wanted to hook up with her that night, but her cousin told her, like, play hard to get, make him wait. So she did make him wait for 2 weeks. And they ended up, when they first met, it was at a park. And they was getting to know each other, talking and stuff like this. So this around the time she was lying. She didn't tell him her real age. She told him that she was 21. You know what I'm saying? And they ended up making it out on the bench. Then it fast forward to her meeting up with him at the studio. You know what I'm saying? She was in the studio while he was recording music, and he ended up taking a break and sitting on the couch, they talking. And then they ended up having sex, and it was, oh my god, it's just so disgusting. Like the way she described the sex scene with him is so disgusting. It's like very disgusting. So they end up having sex. He ended up taking her virginity, and she said one thing about he can't stand the sight of blood. So when he broke her virginity, he ended up eating her out. You know what I'm saying? You know how we lose our virginity in this blood. So he ended up eating her out while she was bleeding or whatever. He ended up having sex with her. He broke her in, and she young minded, remind you. So she got to the point where she said she was addicted to his sex, and that's how he basically got her. And she was in love with him. Let's see. She said she's in love with him, and he started doing things to her that I wouldn't. I said, I wouldn't wish this stuff on my worst enemy, because it's like he just very nasty. Like he started giving her drugs, drugging her up, giving her pills, cocaine, weed. You know what I'm saying? Started drugging her up, and she started doing it because she wanted to impress him. So it got to the point where she said when it came to her age thing, it started eating at her conscience. And one day while they was on the tour bus, she said that he looked at her and he knew something was wrong with her. So he was like, come and sit on daddy's lap. So she not supposed to call him Kelly or Robert. He said, when you talk to me, you call me daddy. So she was like, yeah, I gotta tell you something. She's like, I'm 16 years old. I'm not 21, like I said. And then she said he looked at her, and then he was like, you know you can get me in trouble, right? Like, you know I can get in trouble for doing this with you, but we gonna keep it a secret. So when folks ask how old you is, you tell them you 19, but you act 21. So she said she looked at him like dumbfounded. She didn't want to come off dumb to him, but she looked at him like, but he caught on to look like he told her, when you around people, and they ask how old you is, you tell them you 19, but you act 21. He said, when you around other people, you only listen to daddy. Everything daddy tell you, don't listen to other people. You can't have no friends. You can't talk to no one. Whatever daddy say goes. That's basically what he told her, but he didn't put it in that way. So what? Only person you listen to is you listen to me. I give you the advice. I tell you what to do, and all that basically. So they went on from there. Then he ended up coming to the house, you know what I'm saying, me and her grandma, sweet talking her grandma, telling grandma, I know we got a big age difference, but we just friends. If we decide to move forward, I'll make sure I marry her first. In the book, he always talks about marriage, but he never married her. He always talked about it, but they didn't ever get married. Basically, this book was a big old Pornhub.com site. He basically mind control her with sex. He winded down her, brought her stuff, kept her to herself. At one spot time, he just kept him or her to like they was to themselves. She wasn't around nobody but Ray. Ray the bodyguard. I can always tell y'all about that part. Disgusting. But anyway, Ray the bodyguard. He kept when he went on tour, Ray had to stay with her. So Ray was feeling her in about like R. Kelly. He has a sex dungeon. He got girls trapped in his house where they just sell his body for him. You know what I'm saying? He got very high ties with gang members. Like, if anything he wants to have it to you, it can happen. She was so in love with R. Kelly, like she didn't believe nothing he said, nothing that Ray the bodyguard told her. She was like, "Well, I don't hear nothing about those girls. He with me, so when he with me, he ain't with nobody else." I'm gonna get to that part. So he kept on trying to tell her. He kept on trying to put her on, but she was so caught up with R. Kelly, like she was so obsessed with him that she didn't want to believe nothing when it came to R. Kelly. And this like the beginning of the book. So they did a whole bunch of nasty, disgusting sex. I'm talking about it's disgusting. It's ain't nothing sexual, romantic about their sex. It was disgusting. It's like it got to the point he would have sex with her, and she said she enjoyed, she liked it, but it's like you had to be very messed up in the head to enjoy the stuff that he was doing to her. You have to be very tormented in the head to enjoy the sex that he was giving her. So it got to the point where, as I say, he was keeping them to themselves, whatever. So he was just basically throwing a dick at her, just feeding her with the dick, talking to her, mind controlling her. He has these mood swings where 1 minute everything is good, next minute then you he mad, he upset. But I feel like it was the drugs video. I'm trying to do a quick review. But you know what I'm saying? They was having sex 1 minute, they had sex, get drugged up, he doped up. It was got to the point where he was doping her up, putting dope in her food. So anyway, they was having sex, everything's good. They was talking, then next minute he'll turn to a straight up demon. You know, so he'll get mad. If he can't reach out to her, if she don't answer that phone, if he not where she left, if she not where he left her at, it was brutal. You know what I'm saying? He beat her to the point where her face was messed up, and her face was messed up so bad. It's like the book was so, the way she wrote the book, you can actually see the scenes play out as she wrote it. Like she wrote it the way she talked. Lord, this book is so disgusting. It's very disgusting. But anyway, the way he did her was so. I keep on saying that because this book is, you have to read it for yourself to understand. But he had these mood swings where he suffered from, where everything's good 1 minute, next minute he mad as hell. But I feel like he was the drugs. He suffered from post traumatic stress disorder, and I don't need that either. It was some drugs. Anyway, so she was very addicted to him, and let's see what else I can tell you about this book. The sex scenes, because this is basically what the book about: big old graphic, disgusting sex. It got to the point where he was having sex with her. Mind you, that when she was talking about, she went to the bathroom, she woke up and ran to the bathroom, and she was had a hole between her legs, and she ran there to her, "Oh, I need to go to the I need to go to the hospital." And he would not let her go to the hospital. He said, "I got a doctor. I got to call him, and he gonna come check you out." So he checked her out. She was in the room. He checked her out, and she looked at the doctor like, "Okay, you gonna tell me what's wrong with you? Like what's wrong with me?" And then he didn't tell her. He walked straight out the room to where R. Kelly was and gave the results to R. Kelly. So she went into R. Kelly like, "Okay, what's wrong with me? What's going on? What's going on with me?" So he's sitting there reading the paper, and he just passed her the paper, and she read, and she was like, "You gave me herpes." Like, but she didn't say in the book what he gave her, but later on in the book you're gonna see, like, she's saying they have, he gave, okay, you're gonna see later on in the book where he passed that to her. So he was like, "Well, you got it, you got it. I'm gonna make sure you straight. I'm gonna make sure you get your mess or whatever." I'm like, he was so cold hearted. Like he actually got mad at her for giving her herpes. You know what I'm saying? He actually got mad at her as hell and left the room and then come back into the room. He didn't even come back for a couple of days. So her being young, she stayed there. She didn't leave him. So she was like, "Well, we having sex with all these people, and we just, what if they ask about our sexual status? We gonna tell them?" He said, "If they don't ask, they won't know." You know what I'm saying? So he didn't even give a fuck about passing that STD around. And it got to the point where she caught him and the cousin having sex, and she ended up beating the cousin up, and she ended up getting back with R. Kelly. and basically went through the same thing, basically with R. Kelly, and he ended up dropping on her, beating on her, having her doing cocaine, weed, pills. He had her doing everything. It got to the point where he was poisoning her food, and she didn't even know. Remind you, Ray told her everything is about to happen to her, and it got to the point where this is the part where it comes to when she found out R. Kelly is gay. He ended up drugging her and told her to get naked and lay on the bed. So she was like, she said she was dozing off, but she wasn't just real asleep. And Ray walked in the room and she saw Ray on his knee giving him or. So she was like, R. Kelly bisexual, you know what I'm saying? So they ended up having sex again, but he ended up inviting Ray. He ended up inviting Ray into the picture when they was having sex. So she was loving the sex with Ray. So she was enjoying it so much that R. Kelly got mad and told Ray, like, you know, stop, okay, stop. So he wouldn't stop till he get his. Anyway, so when they got done, you know what I'm saying, him and R. Kelly looked at each other like they really go to war over the vagina or whatever. So R. Kelly started back having sex, and then after they got through having sex, he started having sex with Ray. So she said basically R. Kelly was gay. He was bisexual. So she said she enjoyed having sex with both of the men. So then it got to the point where it started getting very worse for her because the mood swing started. He started jumping on her. He started having rough sex with her. This book is so disgusting, y'all. So I do some stuff. But this book basically ain't nothing but a big old sex book. And the things that he done to her was like, it messed her up in the long run. It really messed up in the long run because I feel like he played on her age, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like it got to the point where she could have left. She could have stopped dealing with him. She could have actually left, but he kept on finding her. So when he got close to the end of the book, it was basically when her grandma died. You know what I'm saying? The grandma and the family kept reaching out to R. Kelly to let her know that her grandma is sick. She's in the hospital. She finna pass away. So when she got relieved R. Kelly for the last time, she went home and she walked in the house. She said she walked in the house. She started calling her grandma, and her grandma never came to. Her grandma never answered her call. So her grandma left a note on the table for her saying that, you know what I'm saying, if you get this letter, I'm gone. I passed away. You know what I'm saying. I reached out to you, R. Kelly, and told R. Kelly, you know what I'm saying, let you know that I'm sick, but he never did. So she got very upset, and the grandma left her money, car in the house, or whatever. So she was very hurt by that, and she didn't want to accept none of that because she was very hurt that R. Kelly didn't tell her that her grandma had passed away. So she ended up leaving R. Kelly for good this time. But that's when it gets to the end of the book. She talked about R. Kelly still stalk her to this day. He stalk her social media sites. He had folks watching her or whatever. So that's why she haven't wrote her name on this book or told about this book. I actually ran across this book on Facebook. So his wife, like I will get back to the beginning, his wife, she's on the route talking about the same thing that happens to her. That's why I said I believe this book and I believe the things this stuff actually happens to her because his wife basically said the same thing or some of the similar celebrities that this girl wrote in this book that happened to her. And that when it comes to R. Kelly mood swings, that it just happened out of nowhere. It's like everything would be going good between them. Then next minute he ready to argue with her, he ready to fight her, he ready to jump on her. You know what I'm saying? And it's like he got very high ranking with gang members. He got a lot of power. He got a lot of control. And with the girls, with the sex dungeon part, it's like if you watch the news, that part was on the news. That part was actually on CNN, where it talked about R. Kelly. First, some of the girls they was coming willingly. Some of the girls they was getting like when they meet him, he didn't let them leave. So some of the girls was there by force, and some of the girls wanted to be there. So this book is very graphic, it's very detailed, it's very raw. If you want to read, I suggest that you read on your own because it's a whole bunch of other stuff I didn't tell y'all about this book because I read for you to read it yourself to find out what happened. But this girl brought a lot of things on to herself, and a lot of things, the majority of the things he played on her age, he played on because she was so crazy about me, she'll do anything to be with me. You know what I'm saying? It got to the point where he was taking her urine and telling her to pee in a cup, but the whole time he had this voodoo lady to used the P, I guess, to keep them together, to put a voodoo spell to keep them together, whatever. So that's why I say R. Kelly was very sick and twisted when it came to the things he did with her into this book. I think he was obsessed with her. I think that she was the only person that he been with. He broke her virginity, so they kind of played a part too. But I think he was very obsessed with her, and that he knew that she was so crazy about him that anything that he did to her, she was going to accept it. So that's it on that. But I do feel bad for her because it's like you live, you learn. But in this case, I feel like she just basically dealt with the devil. He is the devil in disguise because he very manipulative. He was very manipulative to her. You know what I'm saying? He played on her emotions, you know what I'm saying? And she basically said she was sprung off his dick. You gonna If you read the book, she was sprung off his dick the way he sexted her, you know what I'm saying? She was so young and naive to the point where she was trying to do everything in her mind to please him, to sex him, to give him everything that he wants so he won't leave her. But at the end of the day, he still messed with other females. He even slept with her cousin, and they still was together. So just imagine how many people got that STD that he passed around, and just imagine how many people got it, and all the strippers that had sex with, all the girls that had sex with, all the men that he had sex with. So I suggest that, you know what I'm saying, it's a good read. You know what I'm saying, it's very intriguing. You when you first start reading, you gonna want to know, like, okay, what else happened to her? But and again, she talked about like how young and how upset she was with him, and how her cousin got ready for the concert, and you know what I'm saying, she met R. Kelly. So basically, at the beginning, you're gonna be a little bit intrigued, but you're gonna be very intrigued when you get to her R. Kelly counterpart, because she said a lot about he hung out at the basketball court and he hung out at McDonald's. Like, why would you be in McDonald's? But anyway, I never got that part. But like I said, I did a little research and a little background. So it's a Mo Girls got books out about R. Kelly, but this book was a very good read. So I suggest, if you want to read it, go ahead and read it. And thank you for watching my video. Like, subscribe, and comment if you wanted me to read and review any other book. This book was requested for me to review, so I want to get this review out to her. Thank y'all for watching. Bye bye. I gotta stop this video.